Hello, everybody, and let's just start with a quick disclaimer. Content warning. There's some talk about suicide, mental health, trauma, or gusts. Viewer description is advised, but I think you already know this stuff. So, yeah, just sit back and relax since I'm not editing this video. Just sit back and relax and just listen to whatever I have to say while you're doing homework or doing whatever you do, really. And I'm going to analyze pretty much Sun and Moon so then we can answer the big question from one of the most recent episodes, but not the most recent, which was called Moon Discovers Sun's Secret in VR Chat. I don't think that's the exact one. I'm not going to look that up right now. So, as we all know, that one hit me hard. It hit everyone hard. And in there, during the reaction, my live reaction, it wasn't actually a live stream, but you know what I mean. I was on Moon. I was like defending Moon a bit because, yeah. And you guys tend to wanted to, and you guys were saying, "Oh, cut some slack," and I'm like, "You cut Moon some slack," but I decided, why not make this a video, shall we? I am going to talk about both sides of both Sun and Moon's perspective and everything, including psychoanalyzing them. Both of them in the same episode to answer the big question. Who's in the wrong? Let's get started, shall we? We're going to start off with everyone's favorite mood drop. Okay, from what we already know, Moon has PTSD, which stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And, of course, he has a lot of stress, but what he doesn't really remember anything at all, really. The only thing that he really knows is from actually binge watching the show, which, surprisingly, he kind of didn't really get a lot of lore. If not, a lot of stuff could have been prevented. But with his memories being gone or repressed, as is also known as amnesia, is that it's also being repressed trauma as well. So even though he doesn't remember any of it, it still affects him. Like if a child gets bashed in the head when they're young, it's still going to be around even though they don't really remember it. It's kind of like that. But Moon is aware that he doesn't know any of this, and he's kind of like just pushed into this scenario, which I feel bad for the guy, but also I love a good story, so get him in there. Alrighty, let's continue, shall we? So, what we know from the episode was that Moon figured out that Sun was basically going to do an Iron Man move. Which I, for one, now actually regret saying that I want that, but I still kind of do. But you learn how important and how much he's actually suffering because that he doesn't remember any of this. It hurts you, man. You learn how important Sun and Earth are to him, because they are all he knows. Everything else is just been told that he knows the stuff, told that he knows them, told that, like with Monty, hey, he's your best mate, and then he's like, okay, that's my best mate. So, pretty much, he's been forced into this scenario. I feel bad for the guy, but then again, as you know, I love a good story and I love drama, and I've basically been raised on sitcoms and drama. So, yeah. Of course, he has a lot of paranoia and anxiety because of that fact as well. Like, he tries to control every single scenario. Like, what some people call helicopter parenting when it comes to parenting because of that kind of trauma. But kind of like Marlin from Finding Nemo. Like, quite literally, Marlin from Finding Nemo. But Moon isn't canonly a dad. Canon. Uh, he's just like treats son. He's just he's just the older brother, and I love that dynamic, and nobody's gonna stop me from saying that. I think everyone's gonna say that. So, to the fact that when he finds out that Son's basically gotta do an Iron Man, because he's choosing to do an Iron Man to protect him, but also he's lying to him about it. Of course, honestly, I do the same thing. Like, he's scared, his anxiety's going full strength, he doesn't know what to believe anymore. Kind of like what Earth was going through. Of course he would use the gun. And besides, they're Americans. I'm sorry, my American viewers, but you gotta admit, you have a lot of guns there. And with him also being compared, like, Son saying that he, like, basically comparing him to the old Moon, which, to be fair, he hasn't really changed that much, but he sees the old him as a monster. Which, I've been psychoanalyzing the guy for years now, for like over a year now, and I can tell you, that's not really the fact. He was just acting tough and just so then he could protect what he thinks, so then he could protect it and just, yeah, and all that stuff. But, yeah, imagine being compared to someone that you've resented your entire life, and somebody you care about, somebody you love, just compares you to them. That just breaks your heart. And not to mention, Son's been trying to learn to gather the power of the star, the very thing that Eclipse has. Anyone in their right mind, in that scenario, in that headspace, would point the gun. I would. But anyway, he's getting overwhelmed with grief already. When he found out about the whole star thing, about how Son's basically going to kill himself with that whole thing. Again, content warning. He's getting overwhelmed with grief already. He's already full of that because of him not remembering anything. And not to mention, he's seen the show. He knows how much he cares about these kind of people, but he just doesn't remember it. Like Luna, we all know that Moon was a overprotective mother bear with him. And I am not going to stop saying that because that is a fact. You can hate me on saying that, okay? But I'm sticking to that. To the point where Moon's just like at a loss of control, just ran away. Which kind of reminds me of a certain episode where that happened. Fearing Son's gonna die, he runs away, and then he needs a lot of therapy. Oh, what episode does that remind you of? Oh yeah, A Shoulder to Cry On. So, essentially, the reason I made this today of all days is because I have a feeling that we're going to be kind of getting another therapy session for Moon, and please make it something close to A Shoulder to Cry, because that one's a masterpiece, and that's my favourite episode, so please! Anyway, let me stop talking about that, because I gotta go on for hours. Let's go to Sunrise. Okay, I'm going to be here for a while. Let's just go through the notes here. Trauma, intrusive thoughts, not getting a break, suicidal, wants it all to end, needs so much therapy. Do I need to go on? Yes, I do, because I have so much written here. Overwhelming grief for Lunar, the old Moon, and as well as most of his friends for the fact that Eclipse basically just turned them against him. Yeah, he has depression, just anxiety and stress. Closed, like I said, he's closed and like stone. Again, to quote, I'm going to find that book again. God. I found it, and this is the quote. Secrets petrify you. You harden yourself against the world to keep them safe. But you keep them long enough, you discover one day you've turned to stone. That's what's happening to Sun right now. But Moon's figured it out on his own, and he's just feeling so much grief that bravo to the writers. And I am so... And damn, am I an emotional wreck. I'm even starting to cry now. Okay, let's just keep going. He has a lot of depression, anxiety, and stress. He's choosing to do an Iron Man himself. And yes, I gotta make a Marvel reference because, excuse me? Do you not know who I am? He's keeping secrets to protect his family, like the old Moon would. And kind of like what the new moon would too. The new moon is a lot like the old one, but he doesn't realize it, but not exactly like him, because that is like a whole thing that he just rammed against the wall in that episode, which I am still crying. So essentially, who in the two is in the wrong? Both are, but yet not. They both have their own, they both have their well-being and all that. They both had the right to do what they did. But also, their actions do not their well-being does not excuse what they have done. It's kind of like how when I defend Eclipse. Yes, that does not excuse what he has done. But it gives a reason to. But it doesn't excuse it. So, you're both in the wrong. Okay? And what I recommend to you, this is my joke and sincere answer, and I'm being completely honest here. To quote Moon, let's go to a bar and get the equivalent of robot drunk. I've seen so many shows, literally Home and Away is one of the big stuff for this, is when they just go to a bar, drink, and then they just go talk to the bartender, and the bartender always just has amazing advice. So, and in my idea with Moon, the bartender, like it was before in an episode, better be Monty. Because I just miss that dynamic, please. So, and also, it kind of like taking that stuff, it's never good, it's not healthy, but right now, it's kind of what they need. It's kind of like saying you need melatonin to fall asleep, but you can't have an overdose. That's basically what it is. So, yeah, Moon needs therapy session, and also every one of these here needs an emotional support animal. Sun already has 3 cats. And 1, I'm a dog person, and 2, I'm scared of cats, so I'm not gonna say anything. So, I feel like I'm missing a lot, but then again, I am tired, and I want to get this video out. So, yeah. The fan art competition is still going on, and I need submissions, so where are they? Just at me in a community post a short or a video with your piece of art, and I'll react to it. I need 4 to react to it, and the other artists are just waiting and waiting and waiting, and I feel bad for them. So can I just get some more, please? Pretty please? Just one more fan art for Whittle TGB? Yeah, that was an actual line from Charlie and Chocolate Factory. So anyway, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you when I stop geeking out. Bye-bye.